And now time for a look at your weather forecast. Brittany, hopefully the rest of the weekend will stay dry.
We are unfortunately going to be tracking rain and storms tomorrow afternoon. Not expecting them to be widespread, but we will see some impacts for the second half of your Sunday. Right now we're seeing some hazy sky conditions still lingering, a little bit harder to see now that the sun has gone down, but expect again tomorrow that filtered sunshine. This is due to smoke in the mid-levels of the atmosphere from some of those Canadian wildfires. And you can see it's actually going to linger at least through tomorrow and into Monday as well. Now the good news is that smoke is in the mid-levels of the atmosphere compared to the lower levels. So folks who suffer from respiratory illnesses such as asthma, the elderly, young children should not see an elevated risk here. And with the cold front coming through the area tomorrow, we should start to see some of it, maybe not all of it, start to diminish. In fact, that cold front is trying to prompt some rain right now, as I mentioned earlier in the newscast. I saw a tiny bit of drizzle myself come into work earlier, but it is certainly not going to be a significant opportunity again for it. Essentially, the air is so dry near the ground that it's really going to prevent any true moisture from starting to develop. But tomorrow, a bit of a different story. By the afternoon, we are going to be tracking that cold front lingering nearby, trying to push through, and that should trigger enough activity to see some isolated thunderstorms. Now, the trigger you need to see severe weather, but two things that we're going to be lacking tomorrow because of drier air and that mid-level haze, it's actually going to limit our instability. And this is actually for two reasons. Number one, drier air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, of course, prevents just the fact that instability happens itself, right? There's not a lot of moisture. Of course, the haze also impacts our opportunity to warm up and see those warmer temperatures in the 80s. And then on top of that, the hazy sky conditions will kind of prevent some of that radiation from being released, which means our mid-levels as well, where the haze is, actually stay warmer. We actually need cold air there in the mid-levels of the atmosphere in order for evaporational cooling to happen, which is what helps prompt severe storms. On top of that, we do have a little bit of shear, a little bit of cape, but it's really not significant enough to overshoot the fact that we're lacking a lot of that instability and storm fuel. Of course, we'll continue to track it for you live throughout the day. If anything does change, we'll also certainly let you know there as well. Here's Futurecast heading into tomorrow. You can see 1 o'clock, a few little sprinkles there up in the mountains. Again, here's 4 p.m. It's certainly not widespread. Maybe an isolated strong storm after we get past the 6 o'clock hour. But again, this is not a widespread opportunity for rain and storms to become severe because of that lack of storm fuel and of course also that shear. Could we see 1 or 2 isolated severe thunderstorm warnings? We certainly could. But on the flip side, we could see nothing at all because of those limiting factors. So I just want folks to be aware of the fact that we have a few storms. Of course, it's a typical tomorrow technically will be meteorological summer, so it'll be a typical summer afternoon with that low end chance for a few storms, and then it's quickly out of here as the cold front passes by. So your best chance to get outside tomorrow, whether it's the pool, the lake, trying to enjoy that first day of June. I know June 1st, it's starting. Hard to believe. The earlier the better is kind of going to be that trend. And we will again see filtered sunshine, so temperatures will still get close to 80 degrees, but it's not that widespread, really, really bright sunshine that we're used to. It will be filtered because of the haze, but don't forget to put on the sunscreen. You can still get burnt even when the haze is around, just like cloud cover. Here's your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. So again, an isolated chance to see a thunderstorm by midday, more scattered in the afternoon, and then we're dry and quiet really for the majority of the week.